On October 9th, 2021, I created the original Unity project and GitHub repository for Slide Flier, my arcade-style mobile game that is currently available to play on the Google Play Store. Before we get into details about the game, here's a little about me. My name is Ben, and I'm the indie developer behind Bifrost Games. I'm currently going to school for computer science, and my passion is video game development. My most recent project is my mobile game Slide Flier, a game about flying a plane, shooting falling cargo crates, and surviving for as long as possible. I may have begun developing Slide Flier 1.5 years ago, however the project spent most of that time on the shelf, as I was more focused on school and other projects. I've recently returned to the project, and who knows, if people are into Slide Flier, I could continue making updates. With that quick intro done, now I can get into the development journey. Back in October of 2021, the project was simply titled Android Project, because my main goal was to create a mobile game and publish it to the Google Play Store. This was arguably my most ambitious project as a game developer yet, as I had previously only developed for personal projects, club projects, or game jams. I thought it was time I had a game published, but it would be over a year before that repository saw a second commit. The project would go untouched until December 10th, 2022. I was on winter break at the time, and decided my goal for break would be to publish a mobile game to the Google Play Store. I could have started a new project, however I remembered the Android project I had started developing over a year earlier. I opened the now outdated Unity project, but it had been so long that I decided it would be easier to start fresh with the new Unity project and GitHub repo. Development was going well, and in late January I discovered a motto of sorts called No Zero Days. What that means is that you make some progress towards your goal every day, no matter how small the contribution is. This resonated with me, so I decided to incorporate No Zero Days into my game development. Along with the goal of having no 0 days, I also decided to write a few notes on what I did each day. Having this record has been super helpful both in creating this video as well as learning my development patterns and figuring out the best schedule to improve my efficiency as a developer. I recommend keeping at least some form of notes for any level of game developer. I worked hard on the project my entire winter break, but the spring semester was fast approaching. The last thing I wanted to accomplish before publishing was to implement advertisements. What? I gotta eat. I could make a whole video about my struggle to set up ads in Unity, and I might. Like many things in game development, setting up ad mediation was not as straightforward as I had initially thought. In the end, I had to settle. On February 9th, I published Slide Flier 2 to the Google Play Store with no ads. While I achieved my goal of publishing a mobile game during winter break, it still felt unfinished. Slide Flier wouldn't get any updates for a while. In the meantime, I worked on various other game development projects. For the rest of February, I participated in the Brackeys Game Jam. My submission was a card game called Trials of the Phoenix. In March, I made a trailer for Slide Flier, which you can watch on my channel, and worked on a more professional portfolio. I spent a lot of time in April working on a fighting game that I never finished. In May, I spent time developing my other skills like music and art. I also spent a lot of time on a factory game that I never finished. In June, I made a simple game as a birthday gift for my sister and developed a new logo. On June 26, 2023, I was feeling nostalgic, so I booted up my old Slide Flier Unity project. I fixed the bugs that were present and cleaned up the GitHub repository. With 2 abandoned projects in 2 months, it had been a while since game dev felt this good, so I decided it was the perfect time to revisit Slide Flier. I would spend the next 2 weeks finally getting advertisements to work, so now I have officially made money off of game development, which, even though it's pennies, it feels like a dream come true. I also spruced up the game's UI, and added some new shop features, and finally published an update to the Google Play Store. That pretty much sums up my last 2 years of game development. I felt like the backstory was necessary, so now that that is out of the way, let's talk about the current state of the game. Slide Flier is an arcade-style game, meaning the goal is to fly as long as you can and get the highest score you can. The main gameplay consists of shooting cargo crates and maneuvering between crates and collecting essential pickups and useful power-ups. Currently, the only control scheme is to use one finger to maneuver your plane and another finger to hold the fire button. Multiple control schemes is something that I could add in a future update. The pickups you need to collect are spare parts to repair your plane, fuel to stay in the air, and ammo to continue shooting. Coins are also a pickup, however they are the only pickup that are optional to collect. Running out of fuel or health will cause you to crash, but running out of ammo just means you can't shoot until you collect more ammo. Coins can be spent in the shop. The shop has a small variety of plane sprites that can be equipped. All the art was designed by me. I decided to go with a pixel art style and tried to keep it somewhat simple with a slight militaristic theme. I am mainly a programmer, so art is not my strong suit, but I continue to improve and I'm happy with the art in the game. I'm planning on adding a wider variety of plane sprites to the shop, as well as more than one scrolling background. The sounds are all either free from the internet or designed by myself using Audacity and sfxr.me. I wanted the sound effects to be satisfying. It's also important that the sound effects aren't annoying because you hear them very frequently when playing. My personal favorites are the ammo and spare parts. The game doesn't have any music at the time of recording. I would like to add music, but I can't decide on a tone. I've experimented with more militaristic march music, as well as more 8-bit video game music, but nothing has felt right yet. In terms of future updates, I have quite a few ideas I am interested in implementing. Whether or not I continue to develop Slide Flier depends on how much interest there is. I personally love to keep working on Slide Flier, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see updates. I'd like to add more art, more sound effects, accessibility options, music, more power-ups. I've also considered adding functionally different planes, and maybe a separate screen for plane customization and upgrades. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this devlog, and I'm excited to see where this project goes. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the game so far, let me know if you've played it, and what you'd like to see added. Also, let me know what you thought of the video. I've watched a lot of YouTube devlogs, but this is my first time making one of my own, so I'm sure I have plenty of room for improvement. And a comment, like, and subscribe goes a long way. See you in the next one.